Metaverse, and that is the current keyword and topic du jour for 2021. We do have a B2C Metaverse application called IfLand, and that's basically a platform where people can come together virtually with their avatars, and they can meet and socialize, and they can have concerts and meetups and conferences and gatherings. On the B2B side, we're actually working with a couple of smart factory companies in the south portion of Korea, using Ericsson's technology and our collaborations to actually enable a real-time service with robots and factory automation. And that's just, a tip of the iceberg. We think that there is a tremendous amount of opportunities with new services that are coming up with the advent of 5G and AI and real-time services. The other is virtual RAN and O-RAN. Now, we know that the software world is transforming itself to be a cloud-native, cloud-first, even cloud-only environment. And SKT is no exception. And it's a trend. It's a global trend. And on top of that, I alluded to the interaction between the infrastructure and the services that are on top of it. And all of our services right now that are built new are based on cloud. We do not have any other way to actually proliferate our services. And so if we have a cloud-native environment and a virtual software dominated environment on the infrastructure, that can only mean success and advantages when it comes to integrating the best of our breed networks with our best of breed services. So that will be kind of the second point that I would like to bring up. Again, I'll continue to talk about cloud native as a strategy that is not only necessary for network evolution, but also for the entire AI service evolution. And I'm very proud, and I look very much forward to our collaborations in building the world's first container-based bare metal technology that will actually be an example of how we collaborate to lead the world in terms of going cloud native, and not only going cloud native, but utilizing the cloud to maximize our advancements in services. I'm going to talk first about what role 5G plays in the AI world. So remember when Al Gore coined the term information superhighway to denote the internet, and more specifically the mobile internet. I think 5G is the AI superhighway, where it connects not only nodes of machines, but it connects intelligent things like AI agents and machines that are more intelligent, nodes that have computing in their devices, whether the device is very small like an IoT sensor or a computer. So I think it's an intelligence connector. So the terminology that we use is hyperconnectivity and hyperconnected intelligence. So 5G and AI were made for each other. How do we use AI in the context of 5G is something that I'm really, really interested in. We strive for it all the time here at SK Telecom because we are first and foremost a smart infrastructure company. So right now we're doing a transformation. SKT is declaring itself as not only a mobile operator and a mobile services company, but actually it's saying we are going to be, and we want to be, an AI and digital infrastructure company. Now what that means is that digital infrastructure could mean wireless infrastructure like 5G, but it can also mean edge cloud infrastructures, compute infrastructures like we have our AI accelerator semiconductor that was the first of its kind in Korea. We just launched it. We are doing this because we think that the basic core foundation of AI services is in its real-time intelligent nature. And so we like to cover both with not only the wireless network infrastructure, but also computing infrastructure and storage infrastructure. And that's the first step towards having an AI service. On top of that, we have half of South Korea's population. And so through services, ranging from gaming to content, to media, to B2B applications, we collect a massive amount of data. And so with the advent of, again, data processing and artificial intelligence and machine learning, we actually can figure out what the customer needs, what their needs are, what their wants are, what their requests are in almost real time. An example of that is we've just launched a subscription service where we can profile a customer based on their location and based on their usage and based on network information and all the things that we get from our 5G networks in a very privacy-friendly way to deduce and try to figure out what the customer wants at that point. And we give them offers and recommendations and different nudges so that the customer does not need to ask us what they want. We know it in advance and we actually proactively help the customer. That's one example. There's a plethora of applications and services where by going beyond just connecting machines and connecting people with people through wireless networks, we actually figure out what the customer wants through data that gets collected through our very, very vast, massive, and various variety of services that we have. Another aspect of using AI for understanding our customers' needs is to also make our networks and make our system and make our infrastructure extremely efficient and smart. And so we're using AI to predict different problems and issues that can occur. We always also use AI to optimize the overall power usage or the overall energy usage. And not just because we want to cut down on costs, which is important, but more importantly, I think sustainability and making sure our 5G networks and our computing infrastructure is green is going to be paramount to us as a company, as a country, as a society in whole. And so it's a very important, I think, movement. And I'm very happy that you mentioned Ericsson culture aligns perfectly with it.